let's try again. All right, let's try again. Let's see if we can get it right this time, huh? All right, so sorry about that, guys. Let me get back to your questions. I think my internet crapped out on us again. All right, well, let's try number 2 this time. Let me know if you can hear me. Yeah, all right. So what we were saying is going through these questions here. And I don't know where we left off, so I was answering some questions, but I will keep going through the questions in my questions box. Uh-oh. Hopefully that add move tab to, there we go. And that one, all right. Am I still streaming? All right, there we go. Let's try this again. Okay, let me get back to the questions. Sorry about that. The internet went down on me, looks like. My apologies. That's why I kind of, trying this thing out, making sure that we're coming right along. Okay. Blaze Larson. Good video. Thanks. I need help my daughter with her tank nice guppies. Okay, that was on how to change your water without killing your fish. Okay, no question there. Beautiful fish, great presentation. Wish I had room for some. The threadfin rainbow fish. Yeah, in this tank, if you guys haven't seen the threadfin rainbow fish, man, check out that video I did. Those things with the long flowy tails, torpedo-shaped body, those things are beautiful, beautiful fish. Beautiful. I love that thing. I love those. Talked about the honey golden with the beta. I love how people judge people's race against their voice. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Let's see here. The Fluval speck. I don't know if you can see that. That one is over there. That one is that one. We were talking about, and check out that video I did. We were talking about what kind of fish you can put in a 2.6 gallon tank, right? 2.6 gallon, what I've got are 4 or 5 just the tiniest baby guppies. I thought maybe I could put one of those small bettas in there, the baby girl, baby boy kind of thing. That possibly would be good, but the full grown size, big 4-inch male betta, I don't think it's the tank's not big enough for that. So I would suggest very small fish, maybe some chili rasboras or something, but just very tiny. Well, get the 5 gallon spec. Yeah, but maybe a small beta would be okay in a 2.5. I've got 2 gallons in there with small betas. I mean, that people say, you can't put a beta in a 2 gallon tank. It depends on the size of the beta, right? You see them at the Petcos and the stores. They're really small. The baby boys, baby girls, I mean, they're like 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch. Then could you use that tank as a shrimp breeder? Dark Wolf 757, yes, you could, absolutely. And the only thing I would say is that pump is really strong. So you'd have to put a plant or obstruction from that pump, because it'll just blow those shrimp away. But the pump also does have a flow control. But yeah, good idea. Shrimp, you can put a whole bunch of shrimp in there. Good idea for that spec. Absolutely good. Let's see here. Mary Ruth, I had 1 fish in my small tank. Decided to get new fish and start up a new tank. I added a bit of the old water that my only fish was in to the new tank to add bacteria to the new tank. Not a good idea? Question mark. It's fine. I mean, the the bacteria, there's some in the water. It looks like Slim's 420 answered it right. The bacteria isn't. It is in the water. I mean, he says it's not, but there is a little bit in the water column. But usually the bacteria is in the filters or on the sides of the glass or on the rocks or in some kind of substrate or something. So it's fine if you use the old water. You're just pouring the old water in there. I'd use fresh water, but I would take some of the filter media or gravel or rocks from your old tank and put it in the new tank to increase the bacteria, or use the bottled stuff, the Fritzheim #7 for the freshwater, Fritzheim #9 for saltwater. Yeah. Let's see here. That was a good thread there. Justin Snyder, I just watched your tank cleaning video. My first tank cleaning is tomorrow night. Peace. Good luck, Justin. Justin Snyder again. I'm new to this hobby with my girlfriend Claire. Welcome to the hobby. It's always good to see new hobbyists. We have a 29-gallon tank, nice, which we cycled, good. Adding 6 magnificent diamond tetras. Ooh, diamond tetras. If you haven't, have I done a diamond tetra video? I don't know if I have, but for the love of tetras, if you want to see diamond tetras, they sparkle and shine. They're really nice. I guess that's why they're called diamond tetras. But oh, they're beautiful, beautiful fish. Check that video out. Diamond tetras are magnificent. They're wonderful. And angelfish was to be the centerpiece fish. Yeah, that's, as a matter of fact, I've got an angelfish in my 29 as a centerpiece fish, but we moved away from them. Do you have a couple recommendations? The 29-gallon, and we plan to add 6 other tetras, capping it at 13. A centerpiece fish, huh? With some diamond tetras. I would do a centerpiece fish. Let me think about that. I did an angelfish as my centerpiece fish, but I'm thinking about getting rid of him because he seems like he doesn't, I don't know, it seems like he just doesn't belong in that 29. But for tetras, I would do like a school of neons or something like that. I mean, if you look at my, or you know what is really good? Well, 29 is not probably long enough, but I was going to say rummy nose. Rummy nose are best schoolers too. But a centerpiece fish, if you like, discus are kind of hard to keep. I wouldn't go with discus, but there's a lot of discus lovers. They really love the discus. 29-gallon discus. 29-gallon centerpiece. You guys leave a comment below to help Justin out. Let's give him an idea, okay? I would say just more tetras. The schooling, you know what would really be cool? A schooling, a big school of neons, the red and blue as they kind of move back and forth. That's always really nice. That's really nice. Saw your Dark Wolf 757. Thanks for talking to me today. Yeah, saw your video on ordering fish and took a chance on pea puffers. I wasn't disappointed. Awesome. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I got some more fish coming from Aquahuna, and so far they've got some good fish. I haven't been disappointed. There are a few die off and stuff, which is normal, you know, of course, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Dark Wolf. I'm afraid to start a saltwater tank. Seems like a lot of work to get started. You know what? I've used to keep saltwater fish. The saltwater guys, you know, if you got it dialed in, it's good. You know, you'd start off with a couple things, right? Not only is it more expensive, but the water changes are more expensive, which makes it more expensive. The fish are more expensive. The live rock is more expensive. So for me, it's a money thing, right? I don't have the money, but if I had the money, I'd totally go for it. You got to make sure the specific gravity, the salt content, the pH, all that stuff is a lot more finicky than freshwater stuff. But you know, I'd say, I mean, they're beautiful, right? I mean, if you can do it, I would not talk you out of it. But it is not only a lot more. I wouldn't say a lot more. I mean, you got to mix the salt. Some people go to the store and your local fish and buy the salt water. I would think that it's more expensive that way and more of a hassle. You can buy the bags of salt and mix it yourself, but it takes more time. So if time is a concern, then I'd definitely think about that. And it really, really hurts when an expensive fish dies. I mean, it's true with freshwater, but saltwater fish are more expensive. If you start off with like damsels, like those blue damsels or the domino damsels, I mean, that's what you would want to start off with if you weren't going to get a live rock tank. Use live rock to cycle your fish tank. The damsels now are like $6 or $8, something like that. So, you know, they're pretty expensive. Yeah, I was afraid to start a saltwater tank too, but you know, I mean, that's if you got the time and patience to learn about it, just like you did on the freshwater, then I'd say go for it. Yeah. Katie Curtis, should I monitor the pH or nitrate levels or anything like that of my fish tank? I just got 4 goldfish. You should. Well, I do. So goldfish have a bad rap of being kind of like dirtier fish, right? They do eat pretty much, but they're cool because they swim around and they're like, oh, and they're neat to look at. I mean, they're really nice fish, but you want to make sure the water's stable. I mean, the number one thing, the number one killer of fish that's kept by aquarium keepers is ammonia. So I would check your ammonia, nitrite, pH, you know, the basic 3, and maybe nitrate. Nitrate levels kind of for freshwater and fish in general, it can be a little high, you know, over 40, under 40 parts per million, even 60. That's not a big deal. But nitrate is like, it's not the immediate killer, right? The ammonia and the nitrite are the immediate killer. The nitrate is kind of like the long-term killer, kind of like, I mean, it's not an immediate killer. What am I trying to say? So imagine yourself, you go to a bar, right? And you're in a smoke-filled room. I mean, at first you're uncomfortable, you know, your eyes itch or something maybe like that. Your nose kind of gets stuff up. You sneeze a little bit. That's how I would make an analogy of nitrate. In long-term health effects, it's not good for you. You know, you can, you know, may not live as long, that kind of thing. But nitrite is deadly at you know, higher than 20 parts per million. Ammonia is the most deadliest thing, right? If you got any ammonia, water change. So yes, I would, to make a short story long, I would test your water for sure. Maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks, something like that. Before water change, after water change, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yes, you should monitor. Dark Wolf 757, my guy again. Rummy nose are amazing schooling fish. Yes, they are. I love rummy nose, and I got 6 in there, in that tank there. If you haven't seen my rummy nose video, check it out. Rummy nose are awesome schooling. I think they're one of the best schooling fish you can have, especially in a long tank, right? The longer the tank, oh man, those things are beautiful. With the, you know, with the red nose, and they all just swim together. It's weird though. I got this one. I got 6 in here, and I got this one who kind of checks out the school, and then sometimes when he wants to, he schools with them, but sometimes he just hangs back and watches the other school. And he's healthy. He eats and he does everything just fine. But yeah, rummy nose, man, they're awesome fish. I love doing this live thing, man. This live thing is pretty cool because we get to interact with each other. I mean, that's pretty cool. Hammerhead 474, is a 5-gallon tank okay for a betta fish, or should I go for more? 5 gallon, I think 5 gallons is fine. Yeah. I would put in like maybe some Java moss, maybe a couple of decorations, some rocks or something. If you don't like live plants, put a silk plants in there. I would be careful with like the plastic plants that have jagged edges, and rocks that have the jagged edges because of their flowy fins and stuff. But yeah, 5 gallon, you should be fine. Yeah. But of course, the bigger the better, right? Um, I think at Petco, if you got a Petco, I think it might be over with, but they usually have like a dollar per gallon sale. You can get the 10-gallon tank for $10. And what's weird is it doesn't apply to 5 gallons. It applies to 10 or higher. So I think the 5-gallon tank's just as expensive as the 10-gallon. But if you're talking about space concerns, yeah, go for 5 gallon. 5 gallons should be fine. Dark Wolf 757. I love that name too. Dark Wolf. I just like saying it. We will see about the saltwater tank. I just overhauled my 55-gallon long. Have moved from fake plants to real ones. Yeah, that's a big transition. It now has 4 pea puffers and a school of rummies. Rummy nose. Yeah, rummies. How are the pea puffers doing? I was kind of scared of getting pea puffers. But I think the rummies, they can outrun those guys, outrun the pea puffers. You don't have any problems with the 4 pea puffers with each other or anything like that? That's it. Interesting. All right. Sorry, I seem to be taking up the chat. Laugh out loud. No, you're fine. You have the easiest info to follow that I have found so far. Thank you so much, Dark Wolf. You're awesome, dude. Thank you so much. I'm going to butcher your name. Sorry. Ying Zing Buddha. Happy to have you here. I have 2-gallon tank. Fantastic. 2-gallon tank is great for super tiny small fish, maybe a few baby guppies, like we talked about before, maybe some shrimp. Shrimp will be good. Put some Java moss in there. Put some shrimp in there. You can have a bunch of shrimp in a 2-gallon tank. You'd be amazed how much. Dark Wolf 757. Pea puffers are doing great. All right. That's good. I was kind of leery about pea puffers. What are you feeding those guys? I've actually never had them. I've been kind of scared of getting them. It's just something that I've got to figure out one day. When I get another tank, I've only got 5 tanks, 6, but I'll get some eventually. Chris Corolla, hola, all right. Been following, love your channel. Hey, love your channel too. If you guys want to see some brackish water stuff, follow his channel, Chris Coral. Man, that's some good stuff. And love the stuff that you did in the past. I hope you keep going. I mean, that's very unique stuff you're doing. And I mean, this guy here, he goes out and he scoops up the by a what is it, like a tributary or a river that feeds in from the ocean, I guess, and got your brackish water, got the conches and the stuff that lives between salt and fresh, and even saltwater stuff that live in there. How are they doing so far? I mean, they're doing pretty good. Katie Curtis, what do I do if the water still has ammonia after water change? So if the ammonia was really high and you do a water change, filled it up with fresh water, and you still can't tell the difference, I would do more of a water change. I mean, at some point, the ammonia has to go down. If the ammonia if the water that you're putting in the tank, I would test that as well to see if you're just not dumping more ammonia in, right? Because my tap water here, it reads, I don't know if it has, but it reads a little bit of ammonia in there. But what I'm thinking is it's just the chloramines, because chloramines is the chlorine with the ammonia that's mixed together to kill all the bad stuff to make it drinkable. So I just use the prime, and the filter will take care of that usually. But I would do a bigger water change. Okay. Swish Splash, hi. Hi to you. Splish Splash. I'm new here. Well, I'm glad you're here. Glad to have you. Really happy to see you here. Welcome to the hobby. If you're new, I've got plenty of videos on how to take care of your fish, and I'm glad you're here. Dark Wolf 757 for ammonia spikes. I use a pad. Yep, you can use a pad. You can buy it at the fish store. That's right. The ammonia absorbing pad, they work really good. Also, Quick Start from API. Yep, Quick Start. That works. Also, what I would suggest, Dark Wolf, you got me thinking. Thank you. Is Fritzyme number 7. Right, Fritzyme number 7. It's or any kind of bottled bacteria that you have. That stuff works really good. I mean, to me, you know, some people say, oh, that's terrible, or oh, no. Either the Turbo Start is supposed to be super concentrated Fritzyme number 7, or just the Fritzyme number 7. That's good stuff. All right, good deal. Let's see if I've got any other questions here. Swish Splash, I love the name too. I had a fish tank before, and the water kept turning green. Do you know why? Yes. The reason, absolutely, algae bloom, right? The algae in your tank probably is due to some type of one or two things: nutrient deficiency, or lighting, too much light, that kind of thing, or both, right? So what I do when I start getting green water, algae bloom, is turn down light duration during the day. I keep mine, I used to do like 10 hours a day. Now I do, and then I cut it down to 8. Now I do 6, and then I did 6. It wasn't enough, so now I do between 6 and 7 hours a day, and it seems to cut down the algae, especially the hair algae, that black hair algae. I hate that stuff, but it also takes care of that green algae bloom. Also, water changes, you know, do the water changes, that helps out. K Slay 757. Does number 7 harm your fish? No, it does not. If you're talking about Fritzyme number 7, no, it does not harm your fish for freshwater, right? Don't put it in saltwater. So you might get a bloom, cloudiness. That's just the bacteria building up, which kind of you want it to happen. Okay. Trinity Brienne on this other one. I had 3 loaches in my 30-gallon, and one of them disappeared. Another just died recently. Yeah, talking about coolie loaches. Coolie loaches are hard, or not hard, but they're hard to find because they're always hiding, and they're nocturnal. So turn off the light to feed them. If you try to feed them during the day and there's other fish there, they'll eat up all the food, and there will be nothing left for loaches. They'll slowly starve and die. I've had that. It's not good. It's unfortunate, but it's just the way it is sometimes. We learn, and we live and learn, you know, that kind of thing. But, you know, it's all part of fish keeping, and we try to do the best we can. Don't beat yourself up for it, that kind of thing. There is a light that actually, okay, Dark Wolf, there's a light that actually goes through the whole day cycle from sun up to moonlight. Works for my tank so far. Only been using it for about a month. Yeah, all those, like the fancy expensive lights that I can't afford, like the Fenix Stingrays and all that kind of thing. They have the light cycles. But dude, they're expensive for me, man. You know. Have you tried the Night Crew? Yes, I have tried. As a matter of fact, this one has the Night Crew. This one has the Night Crew. Night Crew. On this one here, the button, the blue, the cycling of the blue button, it stopped working after about a year. So I mean, I'm not complaining too much. It's a good light. I like the light. I need a bigger light though. But you know, I'm a cheap light guy. If you want to see my light video, I bought like the lamp light. That's a reptile light, and with the GE Bright Sticks bulb, that thing busts out light, and the whole thing costs like 18 bucks. I mean, it's amazing. I was like, oh yeah, got an awesome light for cheap. But well, and it even comes with the clamp. So, you know, but you got to clamp it on, and it looks kind of, you know, janky sometimes, but it works for me. I mean, it's just my fish room in my garage. You guys see it, and as long as my fish are happy, I'm happy. Yeah, that's light. I have, yep, the Night Crew. Night Crew, I like Night Crew. I mean, I got no problems with Night Crew. And they seem less. I first got it though. It was less expensive than they are now. They're kind of creeping up, but still a lot less expensive than the other brands, right? Especially those Kessels, man. Those Kessels. Have you seen those Kessels? They're like 300 bucks for a light. I'm like, come on, you gotta be crazy. I'm sorry, man. I can't afford that $300 light, you know. Let's see here. Tetras, everybody loves the Tetras. Yep. Tetras. Tetras are some of my favorite fish, you know. So, talking about the light that I have, the Patio Pond light, is it 10 watt? I don't remember. Sorry, Alvin. So the Cuttlebone for the shrimp, yeah, the Cuttlebone, doesn't matter what kind of, it's a squid Cuttlebone. I guess that all Cuttlebones are from squids, but the one for Maya L, the ones for the birds, right? The parrots like to chew on that Cuttlebone. That's the Cuttlebone. And I'll put, and I think I got a link in that. Actually, I think I might have a link in that video, the Cuttlebone and fish tank video. Let's see, that's the one I got was $55 dark. Yeah, the $55 light. I think the one I got was the cheaper one, and it was, but it wasn't long enough, right? I tried to be cheap, but I mean it's working pretty good. The plants are doing all right, but I'm using low light plants like the Java fern, Java moss, Anacharis, not Anacharis, Anubias. That kind of thing. So I'm going with the low light plants, with the low light, no CO2, and the plants are doing great. Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, dude, I tell you what, I love Amazon. I don't know what, you know, back in the day, I'm like, oh, I got to get up and go to the store, you know, or, you know, order something, and a week later it comes. And now I'm like, what do you mean I can't get it in 2 hours? What do you mean I can't get it delivered tomorrow? I got to wait 2 days. Yeah, I love Amazon. I know Jeff Bezos is getting rich off all of this, but he's providing us a good service. What can I say? Hammerhead 474. I love the names, guys. I really love these. I get nitrite to develop in the fish tank to kill ammonia, or does nitrite happen through the filter? Okay, so I think that what we're saying is you have a lot of ammonia and you're trying to get through the cycle. I think that's where we're heading, right? You're trying to get through the cycle. So I think Hammerhead, you got a fairly new tank within about a month or so, and you've got some ammonia. You want to get to the nitrite stage. The ammonia gets broken down by some bacteria. It turns to nitrite. Nitrite gets broken down, turns to nitrate. Or if you got plants, the plants eat the ammonia, turn into a leaf kind of thing. So what you would do is I mean, we talked about this today. You could add some beneficial bacteria in a bottle. You can add some old filter media in your tank. You could, basically, you're just going to have to wait till the cycle finishes, right? But you can hurry up the cycle by doing that kind of thing. Ain, oh, sorry about this. Ain Ramat. How did I do? Did I do okay? Talking to Nike, the Dark Wolf Night Crew Classic LED light with dimmer. Is the Night Crew RGB Plus? All right, I love that light. think I got both those lights. The Night Crew, you know, I got the slim one, and I got the thick one with the blue things in it. Nah, don't worry about it, Dark Wolf. You got the chat, man. Thanks for thanks for being. No problem at all. I'm glad you're here. And I'll read some my old questions here. Let's see. Jose Carrillo, how's your peacock gudgeon doing? What does he like to eat? Mine is picky. Yes, I've heard that. You know, originally I bought two. One was so picky he wouldn't even eat frozen food, and they were both from the same tank from the local fish store, right? But one would eat anything. He would eat flakes. He would eat frozen. He would eat your finger if you stuck it in there. No, not really. But he eats anything. I did do a trade with him a couple weeks ago for something I can't remember, some plants or something. But he was doing fine. But it is hit or miss on those peacock gudgeons. Yeah. Fugitive irons. All right. And what distress signals for too little or too much light for Java Fern? Okay, so I would say that if you start too much or too little light. Too much light, algae. Too little light, probably the leaves start turning yellow and die off. That could also be like a nutrient deficiency, that type of thing. Java fern is really like a plant that is in nature, in natural habitat. It is like the stays on the marshy banks, and it's not always underwater, so it's kind of immersed. As the water floods, it gets underwater, and then as it recedes, it gets out of water. So it's kind of like a plant that can handle both above water and underwater. We typically keep it underwater, but it can live both. Okay. Let's see here. Must boiled in water before feed to snail. Talking about the cuttleBone. I did not boil it in water, and they loved it, but it will float. The cuttleBone will float. Yeah. The cuttleBone will float, and so I had to cram it into a couple of rocks just to keep it down. But then at first, the shrimp, they just crawled all over it, and they loved that thing. But then after a while, I guess after the newness wore off for them, they just ignored it pretty much. But it's still in my tank. That one right there, I think I might, I'm not going to mess with the camera, but it is right there sitting at the very front with nothing on it. Yeah. On Umara Ramat, did I do okay? Saying your name. What you think about planting carpet seeds? Is it really short lifespan? I don't know. I've never tried to grow seeds. So I hear that it works, but I personally don't have that experience, so I can't speak to that. My apologies. If anybody else has tried the seeds, I hear the seeds are pretty cool. Dark Wolf, you tried the seeds yet? I just use the live plants, plants already growing. Let's see. Jose Carrillo, peacock gudgeon. Is it possible for males to not have a very pronounced forehead? I think so. They're hard to tell anyway, right? On the peacock gudgeon, for me anyway. I couldn't tell you male from female. On my care guide, I tell you that for the peacock gudgeon. I think they're both beautiful. I would say, to answer your question, if they are small, you probably won't be able to tell a pronounced forehead or not. Okay, Dark Wolf, working on it for my 7.5 gallon. How's it coming for the carpet seeds? I mean, it takes a while, right? I mean, I'm kind of an impatient guy, right? I want some plants. I stick the plants in there. I'll was curious to know myself. So far, I have sprouting, but I'm using Fluval substrate. Yeah, I just, yeah. A lot of people use the Fluval substrate. That's really good stuff. I just use plain old gravel. Uh, so the fish tank update. I just got a YY. Okay, I just got a blue male betta. I thought they couldn't be with other fishes. No, bettas can live with other community fish, just not male bettas together. Yeah, dark wolf. Like I said, I grab the bull by the horns when it comes to real plants. That's right. Just try it and see what happens, right? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Plants, especially it's not like killing a fish, right? I mean, I'm gonna get flack for that, but I'd rather kill a plant than a fish. I mean, plants, I just go crazy. Oh, that plant didn't live. Okay, I won't buy that one anymore. That plant did good. I'll buy more of that. Right? That plant did good. I'll buy more of that. Yeah, that's how I do it too. Yeah, I don't think the light on my 7.5 gallon strong enough. May have to remove the duckweed. Yes, the duckweed. I tell you what, on that duckweed I've got on my shrimp tank in the kitchen. I don't know if it's salvinia or duckweed, but it's all the same to me. I think it's duckweed. That stuff grows like crazy. I had to just scoop in a 5-gallon tank, dude. I had a handful of duckweed. We'll call it duckweed. It might be salvinia, whatever. But I had a handful of it. It was like, I was like, how in the world did I get this much? And it was like an inch thick from the top, and none of the light could get to the bottom. And I think that's why my Java moss is all stringy and brown. So I removed all that stuff yesterday, and I might do an update on the 5-gallon tank, the shrimp tank, and the light's getting down in there. It looks a whole lot better. It doesn't look like a dark dungeon right anymore. I can actually see the shrimp, and it looks a lot better. And I mean, it's only been a couple of days, but I think that the Java moss is coming back. I've been having problems with the Java moss. And the shrimp. I'm not a good shrimp keeper because, you know, I let the nitrates build up too much, I think, because I don't do water changes like I should. It's probably been like a month since I did water change on these tanks here, but they're doing great. Fish are doing great. Fish are wonderful. If I change filters on a cycled fish tank, will it increase ammonia? Yeah, sometimes. So the filters on your cycle fish tank, if it's the hang-on back, you're talking about hang-on back, Hammerhead 474, the hang-on back, if you completely replace those, you take the bacteria out, right? And then you put a new one in, the bacteria has to build back up. So what I do is I take the filter out in my water, in a bucket of water that's dechlorinated, and I squeeze it all out, and all the mulm and the gunk go out, and and then it becomes, it's still got good bacteria in there, and I reuse the filter cartridge, especially if it's an AquaClear sponge. I don't have one laying around, but if it's an AquaClear sponge filter, I reuse that thing like for a year. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. You should sell it. I can't find it around here in VA anywhere other than online, huh? Don't know what you're talking about. Let's see here. How many filter cartridges do you have? That's a good question. That's right. Man, Dark Wolf, you're on top of it, bro. If you have more than one cartridge, change one at a time. Absolutely. Yeah, 7.5, you only have one. Lava rock hanging in the back. You know, it keeps the bombing inside. You know what I also do? I put crushed coral in there too. Yeah, in a bag. That keeps the buffer. Not only, it's calcium carbonate, right? So it not only buffers the water, but it keeps the pH stable. So, and builds the bacteria. You know, so that's the cheap man's bio balls, whatever. But it is different for everyone. You are correct. Thanks for chiming in. Absolutely. Let's see. German Blue Rams. I have a ram, Andre Scott. Oh man, Andre Scott. I have a ram. I have 2 ram in 10-gallon tank with 4 neon tetra, and my temperature at 79 to 78 and pH 7.1 to 7. Okay, that's pretty good. You can even go higher on the temperature with rams. pH is just fine. They do like it a little bit neutral, which you have. How long have you had them, the rams, is the question. I've had these rams in here. I've got 4 rams. Started with 5, 1 died. I've had them for a few months maybe. Let's see, Dark Wolf. I never use crushed coral. When I hear coral, I think salt, and never thought of it for my freshwater tank. It's a great buffer if you've got like want to stabilize the pH. Yeah, crushed coral is a wonderful thing. I think you know, I even mix crushed coral in with my gravel just so I don't even have to think about pH anymore. Because my water is kind of soft coming out of the tap, and I used to have to battle that stuff all the time, and I hate, you know, the fish hate nothing worse than pH swinging up and down, right? I mean, that freaks them out. They're like, right? So put it in there once, stable pH forever, at least for a few years. Don't have to worry about it. But if you already have high pH coming out of your tap, good, strong, solid water, good carbonate hardness, then you don't have to worry about that. I mean, I know there's aquarium salt, but not sure if there's a different. Crushed coral doesn't have any salt, right? Yeah. It's just calcium carbonate, right? Yeah, but a lot of people do put aquarium salt in their tanks. The marine salt can raise the pH also, but I don't put salt in my tanks because, you know, sometimes the plants go crazy on the salt. I don't do the salt. I would do like the only thing I would do salt for is like if I had a tank full of live bearers. That I wouldn't even do live bearers. I used to do that all the time, the live bearers. But salt for hospital tank, pretty much. That's it. Katie Curtis, why is the water cloudy in my tank? The water has been there for a month, and the fish have been there for 3 days. It became cloudy the second day the fish were in there. Yes, that's a bacterial bloom. All right, that's the bacteria growing. I would, Katie, test my water and see where you're at in the nitrogen cycle, right? So a month, you're probably on the tail end, maybe, but test your water just in case. It'll, you know, the second day it blooms up, you add the fish poop in the water, the bacteria, you know, from the water eats the ammonia caused from the poop, and boom, you have a bacterial bloom, and that's why, most likely, that's usually why fish tank is cloudy. And I do have a video on cloudy water in new fish tank if you want to check that out in depth. It'll tell you in depth. 474, I don't have a fish tank, planning on getting one though. Great. It takes time to study fish before getting one. Yeah, I mean, you can study them all you want. Once you get them, you'll be studying them more. I mean, you know, it's like you do want to learn the basics, absolutely. I mean, you want to know about the water. Even if you don't, I mean, you'll figure it out. And, you know, trying to fish, that's, you know, that's all part of the hobby, right? Welcome to the hobby. Eventually, you're going to get fish, and eventually you're going to stick with it or you won't. I mean, hopefully you do. Hopefully, you know, hang around here, check out the forums, wherever, talk to fish people, go to your fish store. I mean, it's a great hobby to be in. You know, you spend a little bit of money, but, you know, most hobbies you do, right? But I definitely, I've been in this hobby for about 30 years, and I love this thing, you know, definitely. Yeah. Water cloudiness also be caused by what you're feeding. Absolutely. Your food causes ammonia too. I'm getting the onset of multi-tank syndrome. Yes, you can tell that I have that too. Oh, yeah. Uh, is it bad luck to have fish in the house? No. Well, just don't have them near carpet. I'll tell you that. Because eventually you're going to spill something. Eventually, it doesn't matter how hard you try to be, safe or anything like that. Eventually, you're going to spill something and, get tank water on your carpet. It's going to stink a little bit. So I would say if you're going to have a fish tank in your house, do it on a bare bottom. That would be my tip of the day. Right? Yeah. Yeah. It'll be, I would say definitely. Definitely not near carpet, because I said, oh, I'm going to be so careful. I'm going to be so careful, but no. All right. Anyway, I think that we're out of questions for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, man. I've had a good time doing this. I think I might do this more often. You guys leave me a like or something if you like doing this. I mean, tell me what you guys think. If you enjoy this, give me a like, and maybe we'll do this again next week. I thought that it would be fun, but it's a lot more fun than I thought. So thank y'all so much. Really appreciate y'all. And as always, what I always say, happy fish keeping. Peace out.